He
Amazing.
posted this video on his Instagram story. We'll stop talking and let you guys watch this.
Say Dada!
Welcome back to the Moto Outsider, everybody. I'm in the beach. Chris is in New York. I've got my coffee. He's got his Zin. We are talking all things Anaheim 2, and it was a great race, ladies and gentlemen. But we have some drama we have to cover up first. But my man, Chris, how are you doing?
Dude, I'm great, man. I'm wishing I was where you are right now, but a couple weeks, we'll be there. We'll be there.
Couple weeks, we're going to be here. Chris is going to be here
Okay.
for Tampa, everybody. We have awesome things planned for the Tampa show. We're going to be live at the race, and it's going to be a great time. Can't wait to share all of that with you. So definitely set your bookmarks in because that's coming in a couple weeks. But we got to talk about Anaheim too. And first and foremost, Deegan did it. He got his race win. He smashed Beaumer in the heat race, and the post-race interview said a lot. So, Chris, I want to throw it over to you, man. What were your thoughts on Degan and Bome in that heat race, and also the main event because the main event was just fantastic. But give me your initial thoughts.
Well, first of all, I feel like there's some drama, but then you watch the press conference and they're
Yeah,
just buddy buddy. Like they were talking about, Hayden's fast lap and how they were using dartfish, and Julian was like, it was a fast lap. It was a fast lap. I don't know. I think it's cool that they're having this rivalry because we don't have this with anybody else.
right.
They're all friends off the track, which is great. Trust me, sportsmanship's huge, but I don't know. I want to see some more aggressiveness. I want to see these guys,
Yep.
quit being so close. And the Instagram stuff was really interesting. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But
Yep.
yeah, no, Deegan was. I mean, he was really fast all day. He didn't get the fast qualifier. He made a mistake. He was running some fast laps. Julian got that again. But yeah, no, he
Yep.
looks good. He looks comfortable. He talked last week about arm pump and all that. Apparently, they fixed the bike, did some testing. Dude, I'm just. I keep thinking like we got a triple crown this weekend, so it's gonna be really cool. And
Mhm.
he's still been making some dumb mistakes. I mean, we saw him after he got into
Dude,
contact with Haiden in the heat, almost die over that triple out of
my
the corner.
and dude, oh my
Thought it
God,
was
he saved
over.
it. I thought because we talked about this, I think two videos back, it's only a matter of time until one of these injuries destroys him. And dude, he
Crazy.
saved it. Like the amount of strength that he had to hang on to that bike, not get bucked off of it, or just straight whiskey it, like incredible. Like his bike
Yeah.
skill is nuts. But to your point, I do think one, Julian can be a massive benefactor from this drama if he plays
Yeah.
into it. And no offense, I think we need more of the drama. We need more of it. I like this. Deegan can treat this like UFC or boxing level trash talk. And Julian can be the benefactor of that, get all the followers, get all the heat, blah, blah, blah. I think it would be one great for the sport because it brings more eyeballs in. And I know everyone likes to have their tribal battles of Deegan good, Deegan bad, and all
Yeah.
this stuff. You're so nearsighted. You're missing the point. It's great for the sport. And it makes for great racing too. Yes, in the press conference, I totally agree with you. I encourage everybody to go watch the press conference because it's very laid back. They don't care. Deegan's like, you know what? It's racing. He's got the red plate, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to race him hard for it. That's good. And then
Yeah.
Julian was like, yeah, same thing. He was like, hey, we got to race the Supercross. We're going to race that way. Yes. That's all I have to say is just yes. That's it.
That's all. No, I mean it's like I said, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's making storylines, making news, all that. It's really, really cool. But I just wonder like is if there's another pass or was there if there's contact like that again, will they be as friendly as they were last week? Because I don't know, they had the press conference and I'll put the video up. I screen recorded it before Hayden took this down. I sent you
Yeah.
the video. I was crying last night. Hayden
Amazing.
posted this video on his Instagram story. We'll stop talking and let you guys watch this.
Say Dada! Fuck no. Say Dada! Fuck no. Say Dada! Fuck no. Fuck no. Dada! Stop calling me nobody.
So again, I don't know if that's just like
I love
Julian
it.
posted something too. Julian's wasn't as bad. It was just like I was talking crap, and it wasn't really anything. It was just a podcast interview, saying that he
Yep.
does this stuff. He's been doing it since he was a kid. The
Yep.
Deegans are the best at this. Look at Metal Militia days. It's interesting to see these young kids and the way they're handling it. I feel like back in
Mhm.
the day, I could talk about the old days, the better days.
Yeah.
Guys weren't handling it like this. They were probably going to
No
start
way.
fighting. There's going to be some fights. These guys
Yep.
just want to go to the beach on Sunday and
Yeah,
hang out with
exactly.
their girlfriends and their buddies. They don't care. They're just they're
No.
racing. It's cool. It is a really cool battle. It's a cool drama that I didn't expect to see this year. So, my question
No.
to you: do you think Hayden truly? Do you think Hayden can? There's three main events this weekend. Can he get starts and not crash, not make a mistake, and win this weekend when there's three main events?
No, I don't think he's going to win out. If he does, I think it's a massive statement. But I think him, Julian, and we talked about this before we hit record. dude, Cole Davies is right there. And
Yep.
he's not going to win the championship, but he will be a spoiler. And
100%.
that's three different main events for Deegan to lose, right? Because Deegan's got the target on his back, regardless of if he has the red plate or not, because that's all people talk about.
Mhm.
So personally, I don't think he's going to win all three. But it's going to obviously make for great racing. Going back to the contact that they had though. Um, Julian, if he didn't ride a little bit higher on the berm and hit the soft spot of the berm, I think he would have saved it. Him
100%.
falling over made it look way worse than it actually was. Deegan
Yep.
didn't smash him like Barsha does. I think Deegan was actually pretty not gentle, but he didn't clean
It's
him
fine.
like we've seen in the past, and that's okay. I think it's fine, but I just think it's going to get blown out of proportion more so than it probably should, which is that is what it is. But I just think overall, man, it's just great for the sport. And Julian, like you said, he tried to clap back a little bit. He's that's not his personality.
No.
I don't think I don't think that's in his wheelhouse anyways. If you watch him talk and you look at his stuff, dude, he's very laid back, very much like kind of socially awkward in a way. Whereas Deegan feeds into it. He knows how to fan the flame. He knows how to get a rise out of people, which is why they're a great marketer. Actually, I want to get your thoughts on this. Who do you know who the highest, and I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm sorry, who the highest paid Supercross racer was like contractually, not from contingency winnings or race winnings, anything like that?
I'm gonna say either RC, Stewart, or McGrath. I'm gonna say those three were most likely the top
Right.
five.
I think that makes the most sense. I believe Haiden will be the highest paid contractually signed rider in the history of the sport for that exact reason,
Yep.
because he knows how to market. The rest of these guys on the grid can barely put sentences together for the most part. They like, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but they don't artfully craft their sentences like
Yeah.
Deegan can to push a narrative about something. Yes, they can talk about what they went through and everything like that, but Deegan knows how to plant a story and just dig into it. And I don't mean to sound like a fanboy, but what I'm saying is it is those exact things that his father did, that he did, that is going to lead him to, I think, be the highest paid Supercross racer ever, even if he's not the most winning. I think the teams are going to realize what he brings, and it's like, okay, well, if we got everyone buying Deegan 38 shirts, well, damn, it's worth it. I think that's going to come out in the future.
Yeah.
So
Well,
just
couple things. No,
a
no,
random
you're
rant.
you're 100% right. I agree with you on all that. I mean, I know I went to Unadilla this year. The line at the truck all day. I was in the pits all day, just kind of hanging out because I had a nice pass all day. The truck was absolutely packed. It wasn't even close anywhere else. There wasn't a single truck that had the same that amount of people around it. A lot of kids, obviously. So
Yep.
yes, for one, he brings a huge, huge, huge value marketing wise to the teams. But also it's clicks and views, man. Like he's smart because like you said, making these storylines and drama, even if it's not there, he's getting
Mhm.
clicks. He's getting YouTube views. That's making him more money. He's making more money off a couple of things he says on the podium just for saying it. It's just his words, him getting paid automatically. New viewers of the channel, whatever it is. It's smart.
Right.
They're geniuses. And yeah, we've heard a lot of rumors about him when he gets in the 450s, starting his own team, his own brand deals, his own bike deals, whatever it is. Can you imagine how much money he's going to make? I heard
That
rumors about,
dude, wait, this is news to me. There is
yeah,
speculation that he is going to start his own team in the 450s.
there's a lot of people saying that only because of the value. I was this number could be wrong, but I was told Fox offered him millions, like almost $10 million for a long-term deal already. Like this is already being worked on behind the scenes because he keeps talking about how next year might move up in 2026. Who really knows? Why wouldn't you at that point? It makes the most sense. You get any sponsor you want, and you can ask whatever you want because you're Hayden Deegan. He's won, Super Motocross championships, dude. This will be one of the biggest things our sport has ever seen if this actually happens. Like factory level support, any brand deal he wants. He's got the YouTube channel still. He's gonna like Jet and Hunter are doing a great job getting new people in. Alpine Stars deals, all these outside companies. Hunter does something with one of the big guitar companies every year, which is really cool. I forget the name. I'm not a guitar guy, but
Sure.
look, imagine what Hayden can do again with his YouTube following alone, and then just what he brings to the table.
So me just learning this information at face value, I feel like he's the only rider who can actually do that and
100%.
succeed at it.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, to get factory level support like that. I mean, look at
Wow.
Rockton. I mean, Kenny was going to do that. He was riding all those bikes a couple years ago before he signed with, Suzuki team. Probably couldn't get the money that he wanted. He does not bring what Hayden brings to the table, in my opinion. Is what it
Oh,
is.
you imagine him, well, the Deegans have unlimited funds, right? They'll have the whole rig and everything like that. They'll be with the factory boys, all good.
Yeah.
Imagine if he just pulls up in like the most pimped out sprinter van and parks into like the privateer pits and it's just like a man of the people. but
Mhm.
factory level fast.
But their pit support, the things they'll have going on over there, they'll probably have Monster. They've been a Monster forever. And again, the funds are endless. This kid's gonna retire probably more rich than anyone has ever been in our sport. Honestly, I don't see how he doesn't at this point.
That's incredible, man. Really cool to speculate about. I think we should do a whole separate show on that. I think that'd be
We
really,
could,
really cool.
100%.
But dude, so getting back to it with Julian, he was fastest qualifier again by over half a second.
Yep.
But he wasn't comfortable in the whoops overall. Do you think that kind of held him back in terms of the main event? I mean, he finished 16 seconds ahead of Cole Davies, but
Yep.
thoughts on how he performed in the main? Because I almost think, man, I feel like he should be riding a little bit better than we thought. And then we'll get into Joe Shimoda after this, but go ahead.
100%. No, no, for sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I think he was probably going to get passed by Jordan Smith before he crashed.
Mhm.
But I mean, he's riding well. Don't get me wrong. It's not like Hayden just took off. Hayden built a solid lead.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he struggled a lot, but the only good thing he has going right now is that he's been second, first, and second. Like he's the most consistent guy. That's why he has a points lead still. It's only 7 points, I believe, at this point. But
Right.
again, I'm not saying Hayden's not going to be able to do it in Glendale, but I do worry again about having three main events, three starts, carnage. Anything could happen. Same thing with Julian. Anything could happen. I mean, these triple crowns always typically see some weird stuff we don't see all season because there's so many starts. So, dude, I don't
Right.
know. He's doing well, and if he can just be second place and up for the rest of the season, again with Hayden's track record and the Supercross series, he could win the championship for sure. But Hayden is riding really good now, and he's only going to get better as the bike gets better. So we'll see.
For sure. Going to Joe, we saw what we saw in A1. We had our comments after that. Is it safe to say we have to wipe our previous comments clean about what Joe's performance has been since then? Yes, he has the injury. I'm aware of that. You are too.
Yep.
But is it a wash for 2025 for him?
For Supercross, yeah, I don't see him crawling back out of this. I mean, dude, the sixth place, seventh place, wherever he got,
Yes, sixth
absolutely
is still
incredible.
impressive.
Sixth place is incredible with Broken Fingers for sure. I just don't see how he's going to beat Hayden and Juju at this point. They're both riding really well, top of their game, super fast. You can tell he's riding conservative. I can't imagine trying to hang on with Broken Fingers. So
No
it
way.
was a good start to the season for him, best we've ever seen. Still riding really well. I feel like, I mean, last year he was finishing these same positions without the injuries that he's had. So he made a big jump up. Maybe next year, if he, 2026 might be his year for a title if these guys keep moving up. But
Right.
yeah, in my opinion, it's probably over for, I see him getting probably like an outdoor win or something, but I don't know,
Sure.
man. It
I
sucks.
mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Obviously, got the broken fingers. Totally get that. And the fact that he's still, like, I'm looking at his sector lap time, he's still a top 10 rider, even with broken hands. So we know broken fingers. So we know he's got the talent, right? And he has the time to throw down fastest laps in those sectors to qualify and get into the main events. It's just, I think it's a string of bad luck for him. I almost want to take back the comments about skill and everything. I just think it's bad luck because maybe he would have settled into the ride as the laps, I mean, as the rounds went on,
Yeah.
and we saw him kind of maybe rise to the top on that. But I mean, I think it's still impressive given his situation that he's still throwing down the sector times that he is to compete with the guys who are obviously healthy.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, he's last year was Honda deal, so he's riding for a reason. I don't see why they wouldn't want to re-sign him with how quick he is. But
Right.
I just, yeah, I don't know. At this point, it's too far gone. It's too short of a series. If he was racing and had 17 rounds to do this, I'd say, okay, maybe he stays in this. But
Sure.
being as far back as he is already, I mean, he's 13 points down. I don't know, man. Just try to podium the season, get healthy, and try to come out swinging for outdoors.
What do you think about his energy drink company, right? He has Drink
Drink
Weird
weird.
on the side of his helmet or something like that.
Yeah, he said he picked it up at Anaheim, which again he lost his monster deal for this year. So it's different, man. I like seeing new companies come in. I have no problem with this. I mean, we see the Insta360 company has just came in for around. I think it was this weekend was their first big weekend, maybe San Diego. It's
Sure.
cool. Yeah, new sponsors are great, man. Let's keep promoting the sport. Off topic, but you guys, I'll let you talk about what we saw in the qualifying with the Tutti guys that got in that fight. I don't know the riders of it. They were wrestling by the whoop section over there.
Yeah, they're
Um,
hugging each other on the ground.
we made Barstool Sports. They covered that again. I don't know if it made any other big outlets, but yeah, man, we're just trying to get the sport in front of more eyes. I think it's really cool to see if it's energy
Yes.
drinks, fights, whatever we got to do. Start doing more of this.
Yep. And this just goes back to our original point of what Deegan's doing. Listen, you can trash talk as crazy as you want, right? But what makes
Yep.
Deegan special about it is that he's actually fast.
Yep.
Because like, pick any of your guys who makes it in from the LCQs on a given weekend in the 250s. The trash talk isn't as exciting because you're just going to get smoked. And yeah, if you
Yep,
clean somebody out and you get in a fist fight, that's fun for a little bit, but it's going to peter
100%.
out quickly. But if we got more of these top five, top 10 guys talking trash and feeding into it, man, like I think that would be great. We need
It would be great.
Supercross has Supercross and motocross has a marketing problem.
Yep.
And you need the drama and the smoke and mirrors behind it to really push the sport. And I think that's what I just hate to beat this drum to death, man, but I think that's what the Deegans can do and the Lawrence brothers can do
Yep.
is just feed into that and bring the sport into a different light so it's more marketable. That's just my opinion.
Yeah,
It's very niche
100%.
sport, right? We got to go more
Yeah.
mass market.
We've had obviously, Budweiser, all these big names in here, Camel, Supercross back in the day. It's
Yep.
going to take a lot, I think, at this point. But these storylines, the drama, everything that's happening right now, happening for a reason. We get the Netflix series, we're set, but it's going to take
Yep.
a lot. So hopefully these guys keep it up. I mean, there's a lot of great storylines though. I mean, you look at Cole Davies, he's 17, first podium. He's fifth in points right now. We saw Drew Adams make his pro debut, finished eighth, which was really cool. I
Yep.
mean, he didn't have a choice, I don't think. I think he was like, now's my time to shine. No one's on the bike. Yeah, man, I don't know. The sport's got a really, really bright future with all this new talent and these
Yep.
personalities that are in the sport.
Dude, let me ask you an interesting question. Obviously, Camel has been banned. Marlboro, no tobacco companies can advertise, obviously.
Yeah.
Same thing with race cars, Formula cars, Indy cars, Supercross, you name it. But the interesting thing is, OnlyFans can have sponsorship deals.
Yep.
Thoughts on that? Tobacco can't do it.
hmm
Basically, porn can. Thoughts?
I mean, it's probably people will probably look at this like politically, but in my eyes, I mean, it's up to the parents to raise your kids right to know when they see a camel logo that is something you do when you're a legal age, for one. But
Sure.
they need to teach these kids that this is the reason we're able to go racing. If we had teams sponsored by Camel or Skoal or whoever, imagine the amount of money that would come in, how many more
Yeah.
riders we could have on the track. I'm for it myself. I don't think the OnlyFans thing is I think that's a different level. Again, that's totally different. It's a little more inappropriate. I think everybody understands that tobacco, alcohol is something that you do and you decide to do when you're older or you decide not to. It's up to you. I don't think we need to be getting into OnlyFans myself. Um, I don't know. That's just it's a weird one. It really is. But if they're bringing money in the sport, you got to look at both sides.
Right.
Cool, I guess. Good for them. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I just was curious.
Yeah.
I think to have advertising restrictions on, tobacco companies, it's kind of stupid when pharmaceutical
Yeah.
companies and insurance companies screw people more than tobacco ever would. And
Well,
pun
all I can
intended,
say
screws
is
more
like
people than OnlyFans will. But
well, that's my whole thing is like if a child, I mean, I look at this in like because you're trying to keep the kids safe, right? They do this because they don't want children or people who are more sensitive. If you
get out
go
of
on,
here with that. These
if you look
energy
up,
drinks, dude.
I know, but let's hear me out though. Like if you go on Google right now and you look up, Marlboro for cigarettes, you're not going to see pictures of naked women. If you go on the Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and look up OnlyFans, you're going to see half naked chicks or dudes, whoever it is. That's a worse look in my opinion than alcohol, tobacco, but that's the way I see it.
I'm with you. And to make it even worse, you want to know what a worse look is? When these
What's that?
riders around I text you this every time. When these riders around the podium drinking their fake energy drinks, taking their fake sips. Oh my
Yeah.
God, this has to stop. It has
They
to
could
stop.
at least put some dye or something, put some iced tea,
Please.
make it look
Just
real.
put water in it. I don't
I
know.
know.
Just drinking an empty can, dude. How corny can you get? But whatever, man. It's
It's
sponsorship
funny.
obligations. I get it.
I know.
Moving on to the 450s.
Yep.
Jet does it again, but my man Kenny was right there. But his injury from A2 from years ago came back to haunt him. And I know you've got a lot of information on this, but what are your thoughts? 450s, man. It went Lawrence, Roxon, Anderson, Sexton, and then Hunter rounded out the top five.
Well, Kenny's just been more surprising, I think, than anyone expect. Like no one expected him to do
100%.
this. I don't think. Yes, he's been good early. He won Glendale last year. He's great at Glendale, so this weekend could be a good race for him. Tomac as well, notoriously good at Glendale. Yeah, just I think he talked about it, and there's no way it doesn't bother him. 2017, if you've been following the sport, you guys know he had a crazy injury. I guess I'll put the clip up if anyone has not seen this already. He could have absolutely hurt himself a lot worse than he did. I think he had probably 20 or 30 surgeries. I could be wrong on that, but he had a bunch of surgeries on that left
Yeah,
arm.
it's insane.
He still wears a wrist brace. I'm so happy to see him doing so well and also riding like he is because he probably could have won this race this weekend. It was right in front of him. He was
Yep.
running crazy fast lap times. He was 2 tenths off Jet's fastest lap in the main event. It's crazy, man. And again, the only thing that everyone's going to be wondering is, can he do this for 17 rounds? When we get, halfway through the series, is he still going to be top three in points?
Yep.
The season, history shows probably not, but he's doing really well right now. Sounds like he's really comfortable on the bike. I don't know, man. It was a great main event. I truly think a lot of people missed opportunities for wins this weekend. Chase Sexton's another one who was under the
Yeah.
weather, but you watch Chase and these guys are right in front of him the whole time. I'm like, he's probably the fastest guy on the track, but just, illness has been rough. It seems like all these guys are sick right now. So dealing with what we got.
With Eli finishing seventh, I mean, is he still in the championship talks with having these finishes that are closer to the bottom of the top 10 than the top half of the top
Yeah.
10? What do you think about Tomac's potential going through the rest of the season? Because like I said, dude, I don't want to see the elevator just start to take these guys down where, Hunter gets in his groove, for example, Cooper Webb gets in his groove, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden the points just start chipping away. Eli will always be Eli, but with his farewell season, thoughts?
Yeah, man, it was hard because we watched them literally all day get a start from that same gate.
Right.
Whatever happened. I mean, it's easy to speculate. Like, he's a gasser. He likes to rip that bike. He probably just, gave it a handful and spun. Nothing you could really do. And if, again, this is just my opinion. If you lined up him and Jet and Chase right now on that track and they all took off at the same exact time, like they all started right at the same time, I think he would have won. I truly do. He
Mhm.
just looks like he's super comfortable. He's destroying corners. I love
The
watching
corner
that.
speed is ridiculous.
It's unreal. Obviously, Jet's looking good. Chase, everyone's looking good. But yeah, I think Eli, in my opinion, is still a title favorite right now. Jet's gonna get better and better and better. If he can
Yep.
get these starts cleaned up, man, I don't see how he doesn't win or at least come close to being, probably second place guy when it's all said and done.
Do you think the
What do you
Lawrence?
think? Because it's been
Well,
like every weekend he's been fast. Like qualifying,
right.
he's right there with Jet. Jet was not the fastest guy up to the last couple laps of qualifying. I mean, Tomac's been putting on some heaters, which we never saw from him. It's so unlike him.
Right. And the one thing I'm looking at the lap times here, dude, he's top five in virtually every sector.
Yep.
Obviously, speed's not the question. Is the racecraft the question now? Meaning, is the line selection wrong? Is he secretly not gelling with the bike the way he should be at this point? I mean, he's already got a win, it's fine.
Hmm.
But I just wonder if there's anything underlying there because he's got the times but not the finishes.
Yep.
He's got top three times based on sector times, but he finished seventh.
I know he just got this. I don't know. It's the start thing, man. I think if he started
So you
with
think it all
where
comes down
Chase,
to the start?
I mean, he passed, how many guys? He passed 11 guys again. Like he's done this so many times now. I think he
Right.
knows how to ride fast. He can push through the pack. He's shown he's the best at that right now. I think
Mhm.
if he started fifth, he wins. Truly, all day. He passing those
Okay.
guys. He's taking off. We saw a little bit of weakness in the whoops from Jet. Kenny and Jason looked a lot better in the whoops, in my opinion. Jay
Right.
Coop, another one who was awful in the whoops. I don't know, man. I see him coming back from this weekend in Glendale, either win or second. There's no way he doesn't top two steps to the podium for me.
Do you
I think he's
think
gonna be fine.
do you think the Lawrence brothers have the bike issues figured out now? Do you think they're going to settle into their groove? I think Jet has found his stride. Hunter
Mhm.
will always be the lagging brother there, but do you think they have the bike issues figured out as a whole?
I don't, man. Like it's like again, I watched all the qualifying again for the third week in a row. He's been on some fast laps and the bike steps out or he makes a dumb mistake that he normally wouldn't in the past, even on a
Sure.
dry track. So, and again, his whoop speed wasn't great. He's typically stupid fast in the whoops, like the best guy, but we watched Jason just kind of lead him around for almost half that main event. I don't know. I think they still have a
Well,
lot of work to do.
we saw the whoops really hinder Justin Cooper as well. Justin Cooper pulls the whole shot in the main, but
Yep.
we saw his lap times really decline from the whoops, and the whoops really beat him. I think really held him back from probably getting a top five finish. I think he finished sixth, but what I mean is five or above. Do you think going forward the whoops will always be his kryptonite, or do you think a rider of his size and ability can master that craft of the track to be able to finish hot, finish up on the podium? I mean, him and Cooper Webb are arguably similar size, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah. No, that's a great point. I mean, you look at Cooper Webb, I mean, another one who's never been great in the whoops, always struggled. He's won
Yeah.
what, two Supercross championships, like got the talent, got the ability, but dude, when all these other guys are so much better, I mean, if Justin Cooper could somehow figure out how to get this together, yeah, you told me I didn't even know, but he was fastest in two of the eight sectors. That's
Yeah,
huge. That's a big win for him.
right.
If he gets good starts. He's known for getting good starts his whole 250 career. If he gets good starts, can figure out the whoops, he should be podium guy, no problem. He probably would have been in that battle, but he fell off.
So, so speaking of the podium, Jet and Jason Anderson have a unique history with each other.
Yes.
Do you think, because I can't really put my finger on Jason Anderson's demeanor. I
Yep.
can't figure out how he feels about things, and he always just looks so like melancholy, unenthused, and he's just there. It is
Yep.
what it is. Do you see Jason putting up a fight with Jet going forward? Or like I think Jet's just a faster rider overall. I don't really think Jason is going to put up much of a fight once it comes down to it. Because he
Yeah, I
can't,
mean,
unless it's later in the race. I think if it's beginning to the middle of the race, Jason knows, dude, just fall back, ride your ride, and then
yep.
capitalize on a mistake. But Jet just has this ability to catch and gap like nothing else. It's
Well, I
crazy.
mean, we saw Jed do that rhythm after the finish that no one, I think maybe Tomac did it once. No one was really doing that, the quad over that tabletop. Just
Yep.
Jet has abilities nobody has right now. And Jason's older. I mean, we look at the top guys, how old they are. I mean, he's won
Yeah.
title. He's already won a title in 450s. He's got a kid now. I didn't expect him to be doing what he's doing now. So it's cool to see. And he's been a lot more respectful towards, Jet. They raced really good in the heat and the main event. I just don't see him being able to hold him off for a whole main event again. Like
Right.
he was riding well. He rides a wide bike. He's very, very aggressive on the bike. But no, man, I think Jason's this season right here is going to be detrimental to the future because if he doesn't win a title after this year, I just don't see him ever winning one again. I don't.
So, okay, if the season's detrimental to him, what does this season say about Justin Barcia? Justin Barcia finishes 10th, not really in the conversation anymore unless he has like a really stellar qualifying lap,
Hmm.
to make himself stand out. Like these, like him, Justin Hill, Dylan Ferrandis,
Yep.
Aaron Plessinger had his DNF. But what does the future look like for some of these more seasoned guys? I mean, I don't really think Malcolm's going anywhere from Husky, but he's another guy. Been in the game for a minute. Doesn't really stand out anymore. You've got these guys coming up potentially
Yep.
from 250s that are going to make a hell of a name for themselves. So I'm just curious what your overall thoughts are as to where these guys might shake out.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that he's been racing this long. What they say this is his 16th professional season, I think, which is yeah, '09 was his debut. That's crazy. So I think he, in his mind, probably believes he can still win, or because what he won 2023 Anaheim one, like he kept winning Anaheim one for a couple years. Very
Yeah,
talented, very fast. I thought Baker's Factory would have done more for him. And if he gets a whole shot, what's to say he can't hang on for a podium? I mean, we're kind of saying the same stuff about Kenny for the past couple years. Can he win anymore? Can he do this? I don't see him being around for too much longer. Again, he's older, kids, all that. Younger kids are
yeah,
going to come up. I do see, so like I look at him, talk about Jason Anderson, talk about Malcolm, Dylan. I see these guys jumping around teams next year. There's probably going to be a lot of switch up in the 450 class.
yeah,
Ducati, Triumph coming in. He's probably going to be a good development bike rider, someone who can test a new bike or help people get their settings together. But I, it's out for me. I don't see him getting a race win this year. I don't see it from Barsha. I love that he's still around, New York guy, but yeah, no,
yeah.
I think the ship sailed for contending for championships, unfortunately.
Well, Justin and Kenny don't live too far from me here in Florida. So if you boys are
Mhm.
watching, shoot me the invite. Let's go hang out.
Yeah, after all the
Um,
stuff we just don't want that. No, I'm just kidding.
all right, man. So we got Triple Crown coming up. We're going to
Yep.
Glendale.
Yep.
What do you think? Where are we going? Who's got it? We already talked about what the
Man.
250s might look like for the Triple Crown, but what do you think for 450s? That's an interesting combo.
Okay. Yeah, 450s. I'm gonna say Tomac. I just think that he's gonna be
Okay.
able to get good starts. Again, he's got a great history at Glendale. Just the dirt. I think he really likes that dirt. Maybe it's similar to his dirt in Colorado or something. I don't know what it is. He actually
Mhm.
is. He said on a podcast he's staying in Arizona for the next however many weeks on the West Coast for the first time. He's never done this before, so gonna be probably super confident for him. Somewhere he's calling temporary home right now. That
Gotcha.
helps him out a ton. But yeah, I think. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna say Tomac. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think the conversation is still mainly between Tomac and Jet.
Yeah.
Anything in between there, it might be a
But
little
what
bit
about
more
Kenny? I
wild.
mean, do you think Kenny gets good stars? Can he push 3 10-minute mains or what, 12?
That's that's why the only reason why I have Jet in the convo is because I think a younger rider who's just physically younger is going to do better in this type of race weekend.
Sprints, everything.
Body to body comparison, I think Tomac is the overall more healthy rider, just given his history.
Yeah.
So I think looking at it logically, doing the math backwards, I think that makes the most sense to have it be Tomac as the older guy in the field, and then Jet just straight bulwark getting it done.
No, it'd be cool to see. And it's triple crowns. The problem is like, one bad start throws off your whole main. You look at guys
Yep,
like Jason Anderson, he gets good starts all the time. You get 3-2-2 or 3-2-4, that could be an overall win if other guys have bad races. So
very true.
then with Kenny, Kenny's starts have been on point. That's why switching over to 250s, I can see Jordan Smith winning this overall. I really could. He's another guy who's
Okay.
been starting up front and just bulldog all the way to the finish.
He's got
Uh,
to pull something out eventually.
100%, yeah. First two races were podiums, which was awesome. He should have podiumed again this weekend.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting. I love Triple Crowns so much. They're my favorite next to
Great
the
for TV.
shootouts. So
Yep.
good. So much action and
Well, actually, dude, talking about TV, this past weekend we had Weege and RC in the booth, right?
so good.
They should just be doing the commentary. I love Lee Diffie for sports car, whether it's IndyCar or doing the IMSA series like we saw this past weekend in Daytona 24 hour.
Yep.
Shout out to Ford for winning, and that's just incredible, man, for GTD, which is cool. But getting back to Supercross, um, I would just love to see Weege and RC. I think both of them in the booth together is fantastic, or Weege and Stewart.
Yep.
I just think Weege and RC just vibe better. But I think they made the commentary so much more fun overall, especially when the stuff went down with Deegan and Julian. Like the way they were just going back and forth, it was awesome because Weege's level of excitement is just fun to listen to.
Yep.
But it just, what do you think about them two in the booth over anybody else?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just Jason Wygant for me. I mean, he could do the whole show himself. I
100%.
just well, like you close your eyes and I think Supercross, like I hear his voice saying, welcome Dana. Like he has the voice
Yep.
for it, the enthusiasm, the knowledge. He knows so much. He's so plugged in, knows his history. I think Stewart would be the next second pick, but RC he complements RC well. I think they
He
keep the
does.
direction well. RC again, it's been a long work in progress, and he is a lot better than he was even a couple years ago. So great to see RC still around. But dude, Stu and Weege for outdoors when they do those races, oh my God, they're the dream team for me all year.
100%. Dude, NBC needs to contact Kevin Wyndham to get the pre-race transfer jumps done again. You think Wyndham still got it in him?
No chance. No, they talked
No
about that
chance.
on a podcast a couple weeks ago. It's so funny. But he's actually more involved now. It sounds like he's either going to be doing some type of reporting or AMA work for some races or just show up maybe and just be around the races, which is really cool. So,
Yep.
dude, Kevin Wyndham, legend. I would love to see him around. Get him in the booth for one of the heat races. Just let him talk. He's a very, very smart guy and he's seen it all.
Yep. All right, guys. That's everything for A2. We're off to Glendale. We'll be right back here next week to give us the Glendale recap, and then we're going to Tampa, baby.
Let's
We're going.
go East Coast, baby. We got this. We're the first East Coast race. We're gonna be there to see it in person. I'm so excited.
Me
So
too, man.
excited. Call
It's
pick
gonna
an
be
East Coast winner right now. Who you got for two of these in the East Coast? On the spot.
you first.
I don't know, dude. I mean, Tom VL. I don't know. Faulkner?
Oh,
Can Faulkner get a win? Can Faulkner come on and win on the Triumph
I'm
right
going
away?
Faulkner. I'm going Faulkner.
All right, I'll do VL. I'll Tom
Okay.
VL.
We're gonna clip this and see what happens in Tampa. Guys, that's everything. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you as always. Please stick around for our recap next weekend, but also we're gonna have some really cool stuff planned for Tampa. So be sure to share with your friends, subscribe, and of course, turn on that bell. Let us know when we upload because it's gonna be sick. And Chris is a master behind the camera. I break the camera, but it's gonna be good stuff coming forward, guys.
We'll break it down. Don't you worry. It's gonna be a good race.
Everybody, that's Moto Outsider out.
See you.